He might need more, but we'll see.
This morning, Dr. Emily is taking newbie Dr. Erin out for some hands-on training.
Healing and caring for animals as the primary focus of the reality television series entitled The Incredible Dr. Pol made it one of the most watched veterinary shows in the US. When the National Geographic Channel production crew included Dr. Erin in the series, devoted fans became excited since they were able to see how an intern survives a busy veterinary clinic. She was off to a great start, but after taking on a few cases, she was never seen again in the show. The Incredible Dr. Pol has been on air since 2011, entertaining animal lovers via the Nat Geo Wild cable channel, with 2 seasons released each year. The reality show revolves around the 14-hour-day working life of veterinarian Dr. Jan Pol as he treats small animals in his veterinary clinic or makes house calls to attend to the large farm animals in barns around the state of Michigan. Aside from Dr. Pol, the reality show began with mainstays Diane Pol, his wife of more than 50 years, his son Charles Pol, who also serves as the TV series producer, Brenda Grettenberger, and Dale Leonard. Licensed veterinarian Dr. Brender helps Dr. Pol in caring for the animals, and Dale, a dairy farmer owner, has been a regular client of the clinic. Dr. Pol brought around 45 years of experience to the series, handling almost all types of farm animals, including but not limited to cows, pigs, horses, and goats. He even had experience in treating reindeer. Eventually, he also included small animals in his service, such as dogs, cats, birds, and lizards. Over the years, additional veterinarians were added, as well as other dairy farmers. In 2021, the show will air its 19th season, since the producers promised non-stop action as Dr. Pol and his vet team handle many cases, both common and rare. During the airing of the 10th episode of Season 10 in 2017, entitled Beginner's Yuck, Dr. Erin was introduced as the newest veterinarian at the clinic. Diane, who works as the clinic manager, said that things weren't slowing down. With increased numbers of animals being brought to their attention, the extra hands that they needed came with Dr. Erin, who was just out of college. Dr. Pol said that it would be a huge deal for the rookie veterinarian, as she would gain hands-on experience tackling a variety of animals. Here are the cases she handled during her time in the reality show. After she was shown what was expected of her, Dr. Erin was immediately asked by Dr. Pol to assist in dealing with a chicken with swollen toes. It was her first time treating an infected chicken foot, which was filled with fluid that needed to be removed. Dr. Pol made sure that she was part of the whole process. She assisted in removing the pus and administering antibiotics to the chicken. Her next assignment was to assist senior staff veterinarian Dr. Emily Thomas in trying to save a horse at a local hobby farm in Isabella County in central Lower Michigan. In a span of a few months, the condition of the 12-year-old horse had declined dramatically, and it didn't want to consume anything. The gelding had become lethargic, so when the 2 doctors arrived at the farm, they saw a very uncomfortable animal. Examination showed that the horse had an inflamed left colon and a slight toxic line, which indicated a lethal condition called colic. Dr. Erin inserted tubing through the nostril of the animal to remove the contents of the stomach, and Dr. Emily inserted a needle into the gelding's belly to somehow ease his discomfort. But all they got was pus flowing out. The final verdict was that it seemed that they were called in too late, and the intestine might have ruptured. The owners were given 2 choices: antibiotics to slow down the effects, or euthanasia. The owners weren't ready to say goodbye, so the doctors gave the horse antibiotics and hoped for the best. They left the farm with a heavy heart, with Dr. Erin saying that it was one of those cases in which she hoped that their diagnosis was wrong. Dr. Erin was happy that she was given the chance to accompany Dr. Pol himself on one of his farm calls. A cattle owner was annoyed that 2 of his young calves continually tried to escape and wanted the 2 castrated. The no-nonsense veterinarian, assisted by Dr. Erin, performed the task by using a tool called a birdizo, demonstrating its use since she wasn't familiar with it in the process. The clinic received an emergency call from a nearby farm as one of its cows had a twisted stomach. Dr. Emily took Dr. Erin to the farm to experience her first displaced abomasum treatment, or LDA. During Dr. Emily's first season with the Incredible Dr. Pol, she also performed her first flip and stitch procedure with the guidance of Dr. Pol. Dr. Erin had already performed the same task, but in a surgical room, but not in a barn. An LDA in a cow means that the 4th compartment of the cow's stomach was filled with air and floats to the top, which causes discomfort to the animal. Dr. Erin followed Dr. Emily's instructions, but they had a hard time sedating the cow as the animal was fighting it off. But once they'd accomplished that, Dr. Erin did the 2nd stitch on the cow's stomach to help remove the accumulated air inside it, and received praise from Dr. Emily, having proven that she could tackle animal problems with success. Dr. Erin was able to attend to cases on her own. Her first solo case was giving a puppy her shots, and it went well. The puppy's owner said that her dog liked Dr. Erin, as the furball didn't cry at all during the injection. Dr. Erin shared that it was a great first solo experience, and she's hoping that everything would turn out fine in her future cases. Fans of the show were surprised that after one episode, Dr. Erin was never seen again on the show. She looked happy to be part of it and said that she was grateful to have learned so much from doing even relatively mundane things such as cleaning horse sheaths, which was never taught in vet school, to life-saving techniques from the senior veterinarians. Many theories were thrown in, with fans saying that it was probably because she wasn't really cut out for reality television. However, her attitude during interviews and dealing with animals was good, which contradicted that assumption. Most of the veterinarians in the clinic had good words for her. A rumor started circulating on social media that Dr. Erin had a falling out with the main star of the show, Dr. Pol, that they'd had a disagreement which nobody talked about. So people were wondering if it was more than that. Nobody addressed the rumor, and no official statement was released about Dr. Erin by the producers of The Incredible Dr. Pol. In 2019, Dr. Emily left the clinic, and the reason she gave surprised many people. She said the stress of having too much work got to her, especially since she has 3 small children to take care of at home. She further said, "Vets coming and leaving just as fast. Leaving the on-call duties spread between mostly 2 or 3 of us with no extra compensation." According to some fans, this revelation might help in understanding why Dr. Erin left. New veterinarians already saw how overworked people were in the clinic, and since they allegedly weren't paid enough, they probably felt that it wasn't worth it. Some fans theorized that Dr. Pol's controversial techniques and allegedly unsafe standards during procedures could also be the reason why Dr. Erin quickly left the show. No one knows where Dr. Erin is right now, as no one even knew her full name, or if she has any social media presence. Dr. Pol is an old-school veterinarian from the Netherlands, and the way he runs his clinic along with the way he performs as a doctor raised many concerns from other veterinarians. Since the premiere of his reality show, he's been accused of negligence and incompetence. Some veterinarians even called his show the incompetent Dr. Pol, as they were disgusted that he was using outdated methods and allegedly didn't even practice minimum standards of veterinary care, including using a surgical cap, gloves, mask, and gown during procedures. Several cases have been filed against Dr. Pol since 2013. He's won some and lost some in the appeals court. In 2020, the Michigan Court of Appeals ruled against him regarding a case on professional probation for negligence when he performed surgery on a dog and when he treated a wounded horse. Dr. Pol will continue to challenge the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs decision until a fair and rational process is used for review of veterinary care. The Nat Geo Wild will continue to produce and air new episodes of The Incredible Dr. Pol until prohibited by law, or if the viewership decreases significantly. For the moment, that doesn't seem likely, as viewers are apparently intrigued by all the events depicted in the series, good or perhaps not so good. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.